Hello, everyone, and welcome to an episode. That's right, you heard me, an episode of New Apartment Radio Podcast. Where have we been? That's a good question. We're going to get to that later on. It's your host, DJ Bill. That's right, I'm a DJ now because I like to swivel and turn and maneuver this channel the way I see fit with my producer, Jackson.
Yep.
All right. It's been a minute since you and I even interacted. We haven't seen each other for a while. So, what's new, dude?
Not much. Just I've started getting back into metal after going 3 or 4 months listening to pretty much only hip hop.
Okay.
So I've been watching a lot. Actually, the other night I watched a 2.5, 3 hour video of audio engineers reacting to Megadeth.
Oh, nice.
So that was an interesting video. It got me kind of pissed off because they were just complaining about stuff that's non-essential. I'm like, cool.
Isn't that what the internet's all about, though?
It's perfect, yeah.
That's all right. Well, for me, my big news is, ladies and gentlemen, I have finally cracked and I purchased Spotify. I am now into the 21st century, is it?
And here comes the Apple stands saying Apple Music's better.
Well, yeah. Here's my theory now. I got tired of being at work and listening to other people's playlists, and I got tired of, not yours, I mean, like when we were after hours, because I'd have to go through it, like, I want to listen to Breaking Benjamin, it's someone else's playlist, it's like Rise Against someone else. It's like, and then some playlists I couldn't even find because they're just, I don't know, I wasn't digging. I was like, okay.
Yeah, the free version's really weird.
It is. So I was like, I looked how much it was. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do this. So I did it. I have, I believe, like 24 playlists.
Jesus.
Yeah, 24. Now I'll read.
Close to mine. I think I have 30.
Do you really? Okay, I'll read you off the names I have here of mine so you can see where I'm going with this. I did punk pop radio, which of course would be any punk bands that are on the radio. I did, because I'm a wrestling fan, I did an ECW theme song and a normal wrestling theme song, just to something to listen to if I want. I got Who Got the Funk? Chili Peppers, Sublime, like stuff like that.
Stuff,
yep.
Yeah.
I did one based on Stone Temple Pilots, which includes Scott's solo stuff, Velvet Revolver.
Nice.
I did Jovi, of course, Bon Jovi, his songs I like. 311, their songs I like. I did 2000 songs and then some, so anything from the year 2000 till now.
Yeah.
I did 90s rock music, so anything that was trendy in the 90s. Rap and hip hop, of course. Punk rock mix, which is all the underground punk, like Bad Religion, Pennywise, stuff like that. Dirty pop, which of course is pop music, which ironically, I did not put the song Dirty Pop on that playlist by, is it NSYNC or Timberlake? I forget. It's something like that. I have a playlist all on Hollywood Undead, one on grunge rock, Metal Mayhem, which I originally had new metal and metal as separate ones. I'm like, no, I'm just going to make one giant one. I think it's like 900 and something songs. I kid you not.
That's not too bad. Yeah. That's pretty good.
And because of you, because of bands you like, I did include, just because I'm a nice dude, I include The Number of the Beast by Iron Maiden's on there. What's the one by Megadeth Symphony Destruction? And of course, Crush 'Em. I had to include that, And I also included other random stuff too, like I put on Motorhead. I put on, oh my goodness, Judas Priest.
I'm impressed.
Cool. I went through and I was like, you know what? Because I know I listened to some of these songs with you and with Tony, because he has that playlist of stuff. I was like, so then I did Random Mix, which is just random songs, the one-hit wonders, one based on Papa Roach, one based on Breaking Benjamin, radio favorites. I played that yesterday at work. It's just the songs you hear on the radio. So like Jody knew like all these songs. She's like, why do I know these? I'm like, you heard them on the radio, Jody. It's not, that's why. And then I did oldies, 60s, 50s music, 80s and 90s monster ballads, and of course the cover songs. So I went through. It's addicting, dude.
Oh, it is.
It is. And you think you're just going to put like, I'll probably just end up with 30 songs. And then like 300 songs later, you're like, oh, I now have a 6-hour playlist.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And it makes it worse. You're probably not organizing them, are you? You just throw songs on and let it. I went through, so I have a bunch of playlists, but I have one major one. I have my Headbangers Purgatory, which is anything rock to metal.
Yeah.
I think, let me check real quick. I think it's at 2,300 songs.
Wow.
Yeah, 2,300. And I've gone through except for the most recent like 200 songs, which I've just put like albums on there recently.
Yep.
I have sorted everything.
Yeah.
So it goes through Iron Maiden, not through their discography, but just random songs that sound good. So you can listen to the whole thing from front to back, and it won't sound too jarring. It'll have a nice flow to it.
Yep.
Although you'll never do it because it's like 120 hours long.
Yeah. It's just
170.
It's just neat to do. It's just this stuff
it's really fun.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, I was addicted, and then I talked to Melissa. She ended up going on, and she started making playlists, and we figured out how to hook it up with the Bluetooth to the stereo there, and oh my god, it's a whole new world of music, and it's just addicting. Like, it's one thing to do it on your phone, but I'll sit here at my laptop and open up Spotify and just browse and think, okay, I'll hear a song, or I'll remember a song. Like, I got to add that to the playlist right now.
Wait until you start listening to your Spotify recommended or your weekly stuff. Then you start getting new bands. Like, if you listen to those consistently, you'll find a lot of stuff you've never heard of.
Oh, probably. I would not be surprised. I also found it funny, too, where a lot of songs or a lot of albums aren't on Spotify.
Yeah, especially when it comes to, like, remasters versus, like, original printings.
Yeah.
Like, especially for Megadeth is a bad one for this. They don't have a lot of the original mixings. They just have the remasters, which sucks.
Well, I found too, though, I'll say this. The remastered songs for like Metallica or Alice in Chains, the sound quality is 1,000 times better than
normally, yes.
Yeah, because they revamped it.
They're meant for, they recreate them for MP3 rather than...
So I always add those ones to my playlist just because, but I have heard the difference of like an older song. And I found this out from you that one night when I told you, oh, you got to put this rap song on your hip hop list. And then the sound was so low. It's like, why is it so low?
Oh,
and you're
that
like,
was the, what was it? Was that the Wu-Tang Clan song?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And you're just like, well, it's because it was recorded years ago and it wasn't for online.
Yeah. If you play it on CD, it sounds fine, but the digital market just doesn't
transfer over.
Music is a lot louder in general.
Yeah, it is.
So those quieter songs that emphasize the complexity of it they don't fit real well.
No, but it was just neat too, because I especially when I did my cover songs list, because you don't realize how many cover songs are out there. And I hit a few, because I remember there was Trivium, because you told me that when I got Atreyu's You Give Love a Bad Name. I did that. I even did Electric
Cowboy?
Yeah, I did their song. And then I forgot about something. I'm going through it, I'm just like, there's an entire punk band, Me First and the Gimme Gimmes, that just does covers.
Speaking of, have you seen they just released a new single? It was not Gimme First, it was Big Fish something.
Okay, yeah, they do covers. Yeah, Real Big Fish.
Yeah, Real Big Fish, and Iceland Kills just did a cover of Walking on the Sunshine.
Really?
And it's so good. It's so fun. It's
I'll have to check that out.
I can't put it on my playlist because it's like ska.
It is ska. Yeah, Real Big Fish is ska. Yeah,
it's so fun.
They covered that was that song Take On
Me.
Yeah, they covered that. MXPX covered that, and they have covered, like, it was just crazy. Then Sugar Ray covered Abracadabra and all this stuff, and it's like, man, like, you don't realize how many bands are covering songs. Then you get this list, and then you see at the bottom, well, if you like that, you might like this, and then it's like, okay,
then you can just down the rabbit hole, right?
Yeah. So I forgot Disturbed. I think on every album they do a cover song,
and then they have a whole cover album.
Oh, they do. I didn't know that.
Let me see if I can remember what it's called. Disturbed. I think it's Children of the Crap. What is it?
Children of the Crap, ladies and gentlemen.
The Lost Children.
Oh, okay. That's a cover one. I don't know
any of the songs, but I'm pretty sure when I looked it up, it was a cover album.
I'll take a look here and see.
I might be wrong, but that's what I was doing some research a while back, and because I was confused. They said they had like 9 8 studio albums, but there's 9 on Spotify.
Yeah.
But this Lost Children supposedly is a Disturbed album.
The Lost Children, yeah.
I don't know any of the... Oh, Living After Midnight, I know that one. They've got Monster, which I don't know if that's Skillet or something. They've got...
Welcome Burden, I don't think is a cover. That's like... I thought that was like an actual song they sang.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know, because I don't know any of these songs besides Living After Midnight.
Because Welcome Burden ended up being a bonus on their album with Shout and their first album. What is it called?
The Sickness?
The Sickness. I had that down with the Sickness album, yeah. Because I'm pretty sure Welcome Burden was on a soundtrack, and then they just put it on there as a bonus.
It says it's a B-sides compilation album.
Oh,
Okay, there it is. B-sides. That
so
makes sense.
That's probably why there's covers on it as well, because B-side, yeah.
That makes sense. Well, see, Melissa's our looker upper, she's the director of this show now. But yeah, it's like I have 151 cover songs on my playlist.
I don't think I'd have that many. If I did it, I'd probably have like 50 or 60.
Well, Me First and the Gimme Gimmes takes up a good chunk because every album they do is cover songs.
Yeah.
But I didn't pick every song they did because a lot of songs I don't know or I just don't like.
You pick the ones you know.
Right. Weezer has that whole album, the Teal album.
Oh, true. Cover. Yeah.
MXPX has 2 albums. Goldfinger has an album, just covers. Who else did I look into here that like Scott Weiland even did a cover song of Time of the Season and Fame. So Elwood did Sundown. Everlast did Folsom Prison Blues.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta check that out.
Yes.
Did you put the whole album of Garage Inc. on there?
No, I didn't put the whole album. I did do Russ right here. I did Die Die My Darling, Lover Man, Astronomy, Whiskey in the Jar, and Tuesday's Gone.
Okay, so
I did those ones.
Amount,
yeah, I didn't pick any. I wanted to put So What on there, but the vulgar language I thought wouldn't work at work if it showed up on the.
Yeah, I played Down with the Sickness before.
I know you can't really tell what is being said over.
Well, until you start screaming at the end.
Yeah, but it's like stupid fucking whore or something like that. He says, but it's the way he says it. You're like, it could be anything. But when James is like, so
what?
So or when he says, I fuck this, I fuck that.
Oh, and Last Caress.
Yeah, I even fucked a schoolgirl's twat. Just like, I don't think
even Die Die My Darling is pretty bad.
It is. Yeah.
But
I got something. I raped your mother today. Yeah, there's some vulgar stuff in a way, but it's only vulgar, of course, if your boss hears it.
Yeah, if you pay attention to the lyrics, it's very vulgar. Otherwise, you don't hear many of the obscenity.
Exactly. Volbeat did cover songs of course, I Only Want to Be With You, and of course, Don't Tread on Me by Metallica. What are your thoughts on Volbeat? Because I jokingly always say it's Green Day meets Metallica.
I don't know much of their music. I've heard a few of their songs. I'm not a huge fan of the voice.
No.
Like, it's never really clicked with me because
it sounds like Billy Joe. Right? It sounds it sounds like Billy Joe's trying to do Metallica.
Yeah, their music is decent, like instrumentally, but it's like if I want to listen to high pitched, I'll listen to like Iron Maiden or Alter Bridge, something that's a little bit more progressive.
Yeah,
I don't really want Nickelback with a high pitch.
Well, aren't they from like Germany or Dutch or something like that?
They're European.
Yeah, they're from over there somewhere because I know they're not North American.
Denmark.
That's it. Yeah. Also, of course, you know what I found really, really weird? The cover of 311 doing Self-Esteem by The Offspring is on Spotify, but the cover of The Offspring doing Down by 311 isn't.
Yeah, some of them just aren't. That's the thing. Even with Iron Maiden, they've done a lot of covers, but some of them just aren't because they're B-sides or they're single song, or whatever else, right?
I also noticed I went to the Clerks soundtracks. I was thinking about doing a soundtrack playlist, right? And the Clerks list, the songs are there, but a few aren't there. And they're like, the names of them are there, but they're blacked out, right? So you can't click play or whatever. And it's so weird. Like, how do you not get the rights to like every song off a soundtrack? You think?
I don't know. Spotify. So what's something you'll find throughout the years having Spotify, it depends how long you have it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really touch and go when you have the music. There will be times where, because of international law and copyright law and stuff, where in Canada we'll just lose out on songs. Like, they'll be on Spotify, but they'll be grayed out or blacked out. You can't play them.
Yeah.
That happened to Iron Maiden a few months ago, or I think it was last year, where half their albums were there. I think the copyright lease was they just forgot to update it or something for a month, and you couldn't listen to them.
Oh, wow.
So that happens a lot, and then sometimes there'll be albums just taken off Spotify, whether from Spotify or the band themselves. So.
Yeah, that's so weird because you think like another one too. Gavin Rossdale from Bush did a song called "Adrenaline" back in 2002 for, I want to say it was like I think it was like a triple. Not, and I say triple X, I don't mean like pornography. There was a movie like XXX or Triple X or something like that. I think Vin Diesel was in it in the early 2000s. I want to say. I think it's called Triple X because I remember there being like 3 X's, and I'm pretty sure he was the main guy in it.
Yeah, Triple X.
Triple X. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a song called Adrenaline by Gavin Rosdale from Bush, and it's on YouTube, but it's not on Spotify. And I was reading the comments on YouTube, and they're like, why is this song not on there? It's such a killer song and such. And I don't know. I thought that's kind of weird too. It's like, do these artists forget songs they've wrote and sang years ago?
I say they do.
Yeah.
I don't. What makes it weird? I've always kind of wondered this. I don't think it's the artists themselves. Generally, if it's an older band, it's not the artists themselves running their Spotify.
Yeah.
It's the team behind and whatnot, which makes it even more confused because if it's the team, they should know all of their material.
There's Wikipedia pages. Yeah.
I just don't get it. There's some people, like if you're an independent one, you choose what songs go on. So sometimes you might not have a song on streaming services because you don't want it to be seen.
Right. Or
like a mixing or whatever, but I don't know. It's weird.
That is weird. The Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, which is also a ska band, apparently covered Enter Sandman, because I have it here.
That's funny.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it
How many
yet.
of the Blacklist do you got on there?
Oh, I only put down Miley Cyrus's Nothing Else Matters, and the Volbeat one, Ghost, and Weezer. I think I did.
Yeah, a lot of the probably the ones I
a lot of the bands on there, I was just like, I don't know this band, and I don't need 30 different versions of Enter Sandman.
No.
You know, it's just, but it was just neat to go through that, and then of course a lot of songs I should have remembered, I forgot. 311 did Love Song, that's a cover. Pearl Jam did Last Kiss. Like, how did I forget that? And I just,
well, at least with Spotify, you can always add more to it.
You can, and that is
the nice thing. It's not a CD where you make it and you're done.
And it's nice too that if you're on that playlist and you want to add it to another playlist, you can do it through that playlist.
Yes,
that's so neat too, because it's just, at first I didn't know. At first I was like, oh, I have to do this, that, and the other, because it was all new to me. Then I started messing around with it. I'm like, oh, you can do it like this. And so I've had it for 2.5 weeks now, and ironically at work I've got to listen to it maybe twice, because either when I go to work now they're making me do carts, or I'm on my own doing Doug's job. So it's like, I just bought Spotify. Why am I not getting a chance to listen to it? And the one day I was using it, Race like says, I'm done listening to your music, and starts playing his. I'm like, dude, like, what the hell? I never get a chance to listen to my music, and it's like, this is a one and done. Okay, but he did it just to be an ass as a funny thing. Yeah, but it is cool to have, and now that I have it, I understand the hype. Like,
it's, I don't know. I love Spotify, and I don't think I could go without it, but there are a lot of issues with it that just kind of are something you deal with. It's
unfortunately, it's like that for a lot of things, though.
Yeah.
I think the pros outweigh the cons so far in what I've seen.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I'm happy with that being the big thing. Also, I'm also happy that we haven't really ordered a vinyl record in a while. Isn't that something?
You stopped your addiction.
We did for there. I don't know what happened. I think it's mainly that records are way too expensive now. Well, more so than ever. Like, if you go on Amazon, like $80 a record now.
Yeah.
And secondly, there's not a lot coming out anymore that we want.
Say, you guys have probably most of the stuff you want.
Yeah, pretty much. I think the last order we did, Melissa got her Steve Miller Band Greatest Hits. I think we got Third Eye Blind Greatest Hits. We're just getting like these Greatest Hits albums now, so we don't have to worry about getting the full catalog of a band. Sometimes the Greatest Hits is all you need.
Oh yeah,
it really is. And yeah, so now the only album I want to get still on vinyl, which is so hard to find, it just came out, and maybe it's because of his death, is Crazy Town's Gift of Game album.
Oh yeah,
it was a yellow splattered one, I think it is, and it's my buddy Ryan, he was in Windsor at whatever record stores there and asked about it, and they said, yeah, it's on the list of things to come in, just we never got it. So I don't know what's happening there. And another thing about this is weird when it comes to records is Avril Lavigne's albums are coming back out, like newer versions with new songs and colored, like you can get the Pink album, and Canada's getting shafted on that and not really getting them in their stores. And it's like, but Avril's Canadian. How is this a thing? Why does Canada always get the shaft?
I'm irritated by it as well. Like, it's annoying. I can understand sort of where they're coming from, because we are a like 1/10 of a size of the market as America.
I think they have to put the Quebec shit on our stuff too, right?
Yeah, they have to put French. Yeah. Actually, do they on vinyls? I don't think they do. It's just
if
the
it's
label.
Canadian label, I think.
I'm not sure.
I don't know either.
You're normally supposed to put English and French, but I don't think I've ever seen a vinyl with French text on it.
I've never. I mean,
like on like the label, obviously not the vinyl itself, right? The jacket, but
most of my albums, when we get them, they're like the UK ones or something.
Yeah, they're imports.
Right? Yeah, European. That somehow we.
I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know if that'd be an issue or not. I just think it's because we're such a small market, right? We're 30 million compared to the US is 300 million.
Yeah, I know. And the UK, they are the record capital of the world.
Yeah, Europe is big for music.
It's insane how many they like. You go on Amazon and you see a record that's like $80. Probably the reason why is because it's not coming from North America. It's getting imported in from the UK.
Yeah.
Thus costing.
Or it's a local production.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the excitement on my end when it comes to the music front. Do you have any excitement for music now?
Not that I can think of. I don't know if there's really anything that's like been exciting me for music wise. I'm still waiting for. I've refused to buy vinyls recently because I've spent a lot of money on board games and other stuff. But there's 2 albums I'm waiting for. That's the new Falling in Reverse album that's coming out. That's got like Popular Monster on and a bunch of the other songs.
Jeez, that song's like 4 years old now too.
It is, yeah. So it was originally supposed to be like an EP with like 5 or 6 songs, and then they just kept releasing more, and now it's going to be an album.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember when that's coming out. It's very soon. I think it's sometime in August. And then the Poison, the 20th anniversary for Bullet for My Valentine.
That's right.
But besides that, nothing else that I'm like, I need to get. I've gotten a few like Iron Maiden albums recently and trying to just slowly complete my collection. I only need 4 more, which is nice.
Wow.
The whole 17, and I'm at I'm at technically 16 because I have a live album too.
Wow. That's insane.
What would that be? 16? Yeah, I think 16. No, not 16. 14.
So I take it when you're clearly going to get them all. There better be a sweet Instagram post of that crap. Because that is pretty cool.
If I can fit them all on my wall, it'd be great, but I can't.
Get more. Can you get
more wall hangers? Yeah.
But do you have the space in that one area? Could you? I
don't think so. I think I gotta wait until I move out. And
well, you know where you could do it if you did. You'd have to put it. You know where you have your guitar at by where you have your. Yeah, you could do that whole wall. I guess. That would be cool for art. Like, that would be sweet. Yeah. Wow. Oh, there's something you can look into now. No, that's pretty impressive. I remember when I got all my Metallica, I thought how cool that was. And I meant to always do a giant photo on Instagram of it. And time just kind of got away on me. And before you knew it, I was just like, oh, I never did get around to it. And then I started thinking, well, how am I going to do that too? Like, I would have to like, there's so many. It's like, do I put them on the floor and do I did that with Britney Spears when we got all those albums, just because it was hilarious that we actually had every Britney album. I was like, but Britney doesn't have as much as Metallica, right?
Like,
so
Metallica's what, 12?
12
plus 3 more, I think.
If you count like
there's S&M 1 and 2 and then
Garage Inc. Yeah, and then Britney only has like 10 studio albums. Well, 9 and 1 greatest hits, so that makes 10. But when you get into like, because it'd be like 10's, I mean, if you want to do 1 photo at a time, because I think Instagram allows you to do 10 photos, I believe. And
I think so.
So you can do, like, if you had like an album, like a band with 10 albums, like, oh, here's the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th.
Yeah.
But when you have, like you said, Iron Maiden, when you got like 16, 17 albums sitting at home, it's like, yeah, I'm going to have to do some part 1, part 2 here. Yeah, that's awesome though. Well, another big thing, though, I am excited about is 311 is coming. Their 2nd album is getting re-released in August. I saw it on Amazon. It has no radio songs on it. It was the album before the Blue album. So it has like the song Homebrew and Offbeat Bare Ass on it and Applied Science. So it's like pretty pricey. It's like $60, but I'll get
2 LP.
Yeah, I believe so.
Terrible.
I'll get it though. I mean, 311 to me, I'll get everything up to a certain point, because after that, I kind of stopped listening to them, because their music style changed too. It went from like hard funk rock to like almost like a acoustic slow vibe of funk. It was like, I don't know if I like this. So, but that was exciting when I saw that. But it's like, it's a lot of stuff just isn't coming. And you said something to me, and it makes sense now. You told me that rock music's kind of dead right now, and it kind of is. Like, there's no new stuff coming out by rock bands, and if it is,
fortunately,
it's not hitting radio.
No, I think it's starting to, with bands like Falling in Reverse and artists like MGK, and even though I hate him, those kind of artists that are bringing the more heavy, like the rebellious side. Because before, it's weird looking at the history, right? Rock was the mainstream in the 60s and 50s, 60s, 70s. And hip hop and metal came out in the 80s, and they were both rebellious against all the mainstream stuff. And hip hop became, the 90s was like grunge and metal kind of mainstream, but then in the 2000s till now, hip hop has been the mainstream. And it's kind of rap and hip hop have kind of carried the mainstream music.
Country music now with the rap and hip hop.
And country is starting to become a more rebellious thing because it's not the mainstream.
It's also
it's popular, but it's not.
Yeah, and country's not really country anymore. It's like,
no, it's pop.
Yeah,
it's
but
pop with a twang.
It has like almost like because Jelly Roll is like country too, right? And isn't he like a rap? Like, he's almost like Post Malone.
Not as much. He's got a few songs where he does like more hip hop beats, but he's more country. Did you hear that? Post Malone has a country song. So.
Yeah. Did you hear that story about Jelly Roll with this couple at a restaurant?
Don't think so.
Okay, apparently this is a true story, because I've read it many places. A couple, like an elderly couple, thought Jelly Roll was homeless and bought him his dinner because he didn't think he could afford it. And then I think he ended up giving them like his albums for free. He's like, no, this is who I am, or something. And
he's humble. I like that.
I guess apparently he's supposed to be at SummerSlam tomorrow performing Triple H invited him there. So that,
I mean, he's making waves. Like, he had a song with Falling in Reverse, he had a song with Eminem on the new album. Like, that's insane.
How is that Eminem stuff right now? Have you listened to more of the album? Like, is it out, or just?
Oh yeah, it's out.
It is out. So did you hear it, or what do you think?
It's hard. I like it. I think there's some songs that are just kind of meh. There's some really good songs, but I don't know. I don't like it as much as his previous album, but then again, I listened to his previous album more, so maybe it's kind of a bias thing. Yeah,
I get that. Well, and that's that too, right? It's the older you get, you're gonna find that you're gonna have your albums that your go-to albums. Anything new, you're gonna be like, this isn't sounding like.
I still like the Toby, the second single. That's really good. I like that one. Fuel was a really good song. It had JID on it. I like the song with Jelly Roll. He had another song with Skylar Grey that's really good.
Oh, I forgot about her.
Yeah, so there's some really good songs. It's just like the songs I didn't care for were like Lucifer, Antichrist. Kind of just, there was a few songs in the middle that just, like, they're good. There's good bars on them, but generally speaking, the songs just kind of forgetful.
Yeah, that's well, I mean, I'm more surprised he was able to make another album. I kind of thought he was going to be done.
I don't think he's finished. I don't think he's done anytime soon.
He joked years ago that he wasn't going to be doing it in his 50s. So I guess time will tell. If he doesn't want, he says he doesn't want to be like that old man up on stage, rapping and doing that. And I get that.
I think he's switched attitudes a little bit because of how whack the rap scene is right now, where it's just kind of all over the place.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how like rap changed. So I don't even know what the proper, maybe just dramatically, or something.
It's evolved a lot.
Yeah, and it's like, I get that everything evolves, and I get that for me, because you weren't alive at the time. So like, I went from the early 90s where you got these like sweet, like kind of bass sound with the scratching, and then in like 1996 it went to like this weird almost like a electronic like beat in the background. Like, this is what they're rapping to now. Where's the DJ, you know,
it was like
scratching?
The end of like scratches and pianos and like actual instruments was like 2002 or something, and then it just stopped.
And it's just like, okay. And I mean, that's one, I'll give it, a lot of bands like nu metal, at least I'll give that their credit. They at least brought scratching back in their songs. You did hear the you know, and it's like, oh, finally, now it's just in metal now.
Apart from like the odd rap song or the odd rap album, you didn't hear it up and like still. Like, it's getting more common where you'll hear that kind of those record breaks or the scratches or whatnot, but it's definitely not a consistent thing.
It's kind of, it sucks, I think, just because I think that sound really helped make a hip hop song stand out for some reason. I don't know what it was when you got to hear like the scratching of it. It's like, oh man, like that's different, because anyone can lay down a beat and rap over it. But I feel like if you can do that, you're adding to that song. It's like a guitar solo. It's like anyone, you know, it's like the song sounds good, but then when you get that solo there, it's like, oh, that's cool. And again, guitar solos are a thing of the past too, it seems, in a lot of rock music now you hear.
That's a thing, which I'm not for or against. I think it's probably a good thing, because solos, the newer solos tend to be pretty not like, they're technically cool, but they don't have the melody, they don't have the feel that the old ones do. And they become more of they focus more on scales and like a pentatonic scale or this scale, and I'm like, I don't really care, it's whatever.
No,
the new trend is breakdowns, which is meh.
And what's a breakdown then, for those who don't know? Because I think I know, but I want to make sure. What?
I don't even know how to describe it. It's basically where normally you'd have a solo, like right after the second chorus or whatever.
Yeah.
They do basically the drums go into halftime, so they'll do like in what your normal like I don't even know what it is, 4/4 time signature. It'd go to like a 4/2 or something.
Oh, okay.
So it half the speed of your drums.
Yep.
And your guitars would do low chugs, and it'd be all low strings, and it'd be slower rhythm and heavier sounding.
Oh, okay.
Normally there'd be like guttural screams or whatnot. There'd be some more harsh vocals in that as well.
Oh, I guess that's the new style for the time period for music.
Yeah, I think it's starting to go away, because it was a big thing from 2010 to 2020, but I think it's starting to, with bands like Sleep Token and Spearbox and Falling in Reverse and Bring Me the Horizon, they're starting to do more different things, or more acceptable to genre blend, which is good.
Yeah. Sleep Token. I added the Summoning, of course, to my metal. That's a band I want to check out more often. I think now I probably will, because it'll be easier just to go to their thing on Spotify and just play their album. Yeah. Or just play, you know, and I thought it was so cool. You can just like click the song, like I can do right now. Like it's right here.
Click the song. Yeah. It goes to the album. Yeah.
It's so cool. It's like, oh, this is, so I'm like, that's going to help me probably learn some more new music, because I know you always talk about some of these bands, and I hear them, because it's funny. What's the one, Bullet for My Valentine?
Yeah.
Every time at work, what's this? This sounds like Breaking Benjamin's Bullet for My Valentine. Oh, this sounds like Rise Against. It's Bullet for My Valentine. Oh, this sounds like, it's like they had so different. It's
every time he asks, he's like, "What's this song? It's pretty good." I'm like, "It's the same one you ask every time. Same band." It's like Bullet for My Valentine.
Well, they can definitely.
It's like, you don't, like, being someone who knows the band very well, I can tell just from the voice.
Yeah.
But if you're not aware of the voice, their music sounds very different around the years.
And they definitely always catch me off guard. It's like, oh, it's them again. So it's like, I got to definitely got to check out their stuff more, because I know even years ago in the late 2000s, well, by late 2000s, I mean, like, 7, 8, 9, they were pretty big.
They came out in 2005, and they really started growing in 2009, I think.
Yeah, they almost became like the unwritten band of these emo girls.
They were the emo band. Like, you think of like well, at least on the heavier side, because you think of like My Chemical Romance, or you think of Atreyu or whatever. They're kind of on the they're on the more soft side, whereas Bullet for Valentine and basically just them. There's Bring Me the Horizon a little bit. Some of those other ones were like the heavier side and the more like more old school. Like there's a lot of thrash influence and whatnot. And there's a lot more music focused rather than just lyrical and whatnot.
They are good, and it's not like, that's the thing. It's like a lot of these bands are good. It's just you don't really stop to put time and effort into listening to them, I guess, because you also have like this giant pile of music over here you enjoy. Yeah. And then it's like, oh, there's this pile over here that's building up, and it's like, I really should get to these, and you never do. And
you're split between two. It's like, I want to listen to stuff I like, because then I can just vibe, I can just experience it. But I also want to listen to new stuff, because then I can add to my stuff.
Exactly.
Like it's for a perpetual cycle.
It is. And there's so many, I'm sure there's so many bands out there that you and I have never come across. And there's probably that one song out there that
would be our favorite.
Yeah, and we'll never know it.
Yeah.
It's weird to think that. I guess that's just what life is. I mean, think about, same with movies. How many, or TV shows? There's so many. There's probably a movie out there that would be my ultimate favorite movie, and I'll never know it because you'll never see it. And it's just the way it is. It's just, there's just too much going on in life.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's millions of songs published every day. There's millions of movies published every month. Like, there's too much content to consume in a lifetime.
And it's funny, though, how certain songs you'll show a friend and you automatically, you do become a fan. Like, you did it with me with Sleep Token and Electric. I always get it wrong. Callboy. And I think there was another one too you showed me once. So I was just like, I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. And then I did it with you too. Like, when we're at work, you got to check out this song you play. You're like, oh my God. The next thing I know, like a week later, it comes on your playlist. I'm just like, oh, you're like, yeah, I liked it. It's like, I guess you did, you know, but then you'd think like, oh, that band's good. I like this song. I should check out their other stuff, but you just never,
or sometimes if you do eventually go there, it just doesn't click the same. It's just that one song that you're like, wow, this is the only one, or maybe there's two or three that I'm like, these ones I like, nothing else really clicks.
Yeah.
I've had that happen.
It's weird how, like, back in the day for me with punk music, it was like that too. It's like, I listened to Pennywise, I listened to Bad Religion, NoFX, Rancid, but why other bands like Zeke or the Bouncing Souls or something like that, like one or two songs, and that's it. I never bothered to get into their catalog of music. And I'm sure their music was good, but something just, oh, that's good. That song is good. I'm good there. I don't need to, because I already have these 5 bands. I don't need that. And it's like that. I mean, really, it's like that for a lot of stuff. I look at my collection of records. It's like, there's a lot of grunge albums out there, but Melissa and I only have the certain ones. And we don't have Green River, we don't have Mudhoney, but we definitely have Pearl Jam, and we definitely have Soundgarden.
Yeah,
it's just maybe radio helps too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's that, because you don't hear these other bands on the radio. The Melvins still make music. I don't hear it on the radio. Yeah. That was Kurt Cobain's best friend, Buzz Melvin, who that's how Nirvana got started. But yet everyone knows Nirvana. A small percentage is going to know who the Melvins are. Like, you may have heard that name, but you probably don't even know a song by them. I don't even know a song by the Melvins, but I know they exist.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's so weird. Like you said, there's so many bands and music. It's just, you'd go nuts trying to listen to everything.
Yeah. And even if you tried to, it wouldn't be possible.
And that's the thing I don't get with record store owners. I watch a YouTube channel with these guys, and this one guy's a record store owner, and he knows so many bands and their albums, and not just from metal, like metal, punk, rock, glam, pop, country. And I'm just like,
that's their job though.
It is.
They have to.
But it's insane. Like, how that's, I don't think I could do it. I don't think, if I owned a record store, I think you'd agree, it'd be a very niche record store. There probably wouldn't be a lot
there wouldn't be much chunk country. There wouldn't be much pop. There wouldn't be much country, jazz, like old blues. There would be mostly punk, rock, a little bit hip hop, and a little bit pop. That's your whole.
That's it. Yeah, for sure. And the pop music would be like, it'd be the mainstream, like
the 2000s,
2010s. We would have NSYNC's first 2 albums, and there they are. If you want the first 2, they're here. Anything after that, I don't know.
Shoot yourself.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Exactly. So that's why when I see these record stores and the stuff they have, it's like pop music in Toronto, it's getting harder to buy from there because a lot of the albums, like I don't know these bands. I don't know this album.
That's the thing. Yeah. Something that's, I think that's like hard to understand is you can only know so much as one person. So if you're alone with a store, you're only going to have what you know or what maybe you've heard about.
Yeah.
So it's always good to have people that you like, friends that know music or customers that can help you tell you what to add to your store or what to add to your collection, right?
You know what's weird too is like, I wonder what makes us as human beings like what we like when it comes to artists, eh? Like, for example, like I just said, like I had that punk list. Imagine if I think like if it was a multiverse and it was a different universe, maybe somewhere out there, the version of me loves the Bouncing Souls and I only know like 3 Pennywise songs, right? It's like what made me what attracted me to that artist, that band, to go head in so deep, like you with your metal with Maiden and Megadeth. Like, why wasn't it Judas Priest and Motorhead?
Yeah,
you know,
who knows? We'll never know. It's just the way stuff happens, right?
Yeah, something clicks, and we just like it.
The strings of the universe bring us.
Oh yeah, big time.
I've always loved that theory. I'm not a huge skeptical person. I'm pretty agnostic, is what I consider myself. I don't really. I understand the importance of religion and all that stuff, but out of any of the religious beliefs or superstitious beliefs or any of those kind of things, I've always thought the string theory was kind of the more interesting of the ones. Because it would make, like, excluding science, it would make the most sense to why stuff works the way it does.
Yeah.
It just kind of clicks.
You might be onto something there. It's like that old saying with the butterfly effect too.
It's along the same lines as that.
I'd make you go crazy too, trying to figure all that out. Good Lord.
Luckily, we have no way of confirming, so there's no point.
Yeah, I guess we don't really know until we're not here anymore. And I'd like to think when I'm not here, and I like to think there's a heaven. I like to think all my records and all my collectibles will be there waiting for me, and I just get to enjoy life with everything I have now without the worries and stress of living a life. That would be cool.
That's the thing. I'm not convinced there's a heaven. I'm just convinced that there's a point. It's either heaven or it's a point of consciousness where you can experience anything you want.
Or you start over again.
Or you start over, yeah. I do hope that it's like you pass away and you become whatever you've experienced your life, and you just either play it on repeat or you choose what you want to do.
Well, I always wonder too if when you get that deja vu feeling, I wondered if like the reason why is because you do your life over. Maybe you keep doing your life over to fix things you've messed up, and until you get it perfect.
I don't know. If that's the case, I'm going to be doing it for eternity.
Oh, like think about our lives. Like, I'm going to end up working at Walmart again? It's like, oh, no.
Wow, you fucked up that many times?
Yeah, I know, right? Like, crap. Oh, wow.
Let's hope they're not watching.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone even knows we do that. Well, Natalie.
You've told like how many coworkers that we have?
Yeah, no one cares to listen.
No,
like,
that's true.
Anyone I've told, they're just like, oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
It's like, cool. The biggest joke we have right now there is Jody. We've convinced her that race and the roundabouts is a real thing.
Yeah, I don't know how she believes that.
Well, it even got better when I went up to Doug the one day and I said, Doug, just go up to Jody and be like, what, you never heard of race and the roundabouts? And he did. He came up and
he's all for that stuff. Yep. He's trying to convince me to do that stuff. I'm like, no, I'm good. I don't want to. I'm terrible at lying. There's no point in trying to make me.
Yeah, I'm really good at lying. I do it all the time.
I'm good at lying, but not when it's for a joke.
Yeah.
As a joke, I'm terrible. But when it's like a straight face lie, I can do it.
Oh, yeah. I can do it too. Like, I really enjoy this podcast.
Yes, it's an amazing podcast.
I can't wait to do another one. No,
yeah.
No, I do love this podcast. It's fun. It's a good way to talk about music and get people to listen, mainly Jackson's dad. Big shout out to Jackson's dad who will be listening to this. He's probably the one who misses it the most.
Oh, probably.
Yeah. He's like, where's that podcast? No, but It is weird to think we went like so long. Because I remember you messaged me a while ago, and I said, dude, I'm in like every night. Because that was during inventory and then Doug's holidays. I got a day off, and then I was in like 4 again. Then the days off you were working.
Yeah, it just didn't work out.
Yeah, nothing. I was like, we have to just do a little hiatus for a week or two. And I was like, it's not going to hurt us. I doubt anyone listens to us anyhow. What was that on the thing you posted about 200 or something? What was that?
Yeah, again? So I was when I was recording that little thing. I went on our Spotify podcast app, and it says we have 200 total plays.
Wow,
which is, in hindsight, it's a lot for considering we don't do any marketing. We don't push it out there. We've barely we've done nothing. We basically just published it, but for 22 episodes, that's what. Just less than 10% 10 views in 10 views,
10, still that's awesome because I went through and listened to like one, and I listened to like half of it. Actually, I didn't even finish it because I wanted to see how it sounded. It sounds good, but I'm like my worst critic. I don't watch my own YouTube videos. I don't listen. I figure it's a one and done. I don't want to go back and think, I didn't like. There was something, I forget what it was now, and Melissa listened to it, and I remember, I think it was like we're doing a list of music or something, and I couldn't remember the name of a song, and Melissa was listening. She's like, it's this name, just say the name, and that's why I don't want to go back and listen.
That's what I have. Every time I edit, I'm like, I couldn't remember the name of that, or I couldn't think of that word, or I don't know.
And there it is.
I've grown to like accept it, and it's just kind of something. Especially since we don't do retakes, it's just it's very
well. We did a retake once.
We did, yes.
Remember what happened then? Something
the file corrupts. Died. Yeah.
Oh, that was when we were going through a list of something. You, Matt, and I.
What was it? It was one of the Color albums.
It was on the cell. That was when we were doing it on the phone.
Yeah. Then. I don't remember what it was.
No, it was an earlier one. That's when we were like, and we got
the Blue albums.
I think so. And we were so pissed. Not pissed, angry. We were just so pissed of annoyed. I remember we just went through that last third and we just super fast because we were all hungry. We were all tired. We were just we just
recorded a 40-minute thing, and then all of that's gone, so we had to repeat it.
Yeah, it ended up being like probably like 20 minutes. We're just like, okay, this song's next, this one, or this album. That was funny. Now that I can look back and laugh, at that moment I was just like, I'm so hungry. It's late. I just want this done now.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know what? This was a good little shooting the shit re-emergence podcast here, since I know we didn't really know what to talk about today. I kind of wanted to go over the Spotify things. That was my big story. That was pretty sweet. This is number 23.
Yes.
So you said, and I guess we can explain this now, you were thinking of doing seasonally.
Yeah, so I think most podcasts end up doing this, where they'll get to a certain point and they'll either have a break, or they'll have a change in who's on the podcast, or they'll just have a change in equipment, whatever it may be, or even just they want to, where they'll do a season break. Mm-hmm. I'm like, they'll just start a second season, right? And I'm like, we could go to like 50 or 100 or whatever, but I'm like, why? Like, the more seasons you do, the better it is, because you can change more stuff, especially if you do something different each season, whatnot.
That's true.
I'm thinking we're probably going to do 25 episodes a season. I was thinking originally 24, but that's a weird number to do for long term.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool because it's like most shows are 24 episodes, so like it's a good number, but like it doesn't make much sense.
That's a bottle of beer an episode.
Yeah. Well, that's true. We could do a 2-4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, 25, I agree, works better.
I think it works better. We get 4 seasons every 100 episodes, whatnot, and then we can change, and hopefully each season there's something new or something changed about it.
Yeah.
Or at least for the first 100 or so.
I mean, I look back right now to our first one we did, where we were sitting in the chair that you're sitting in right now. We had the phone in between us. It was such a... I bet you now if we went back and listened to that, we'd probably be like, oh... We could have did better.
It wasn't that bad. I've like gone back. I think we were around episode like 12 or 13. I went back and listened to it. It wasn't that bad.
Okay.
Like we did a pretty decent job. Now the second episode, I don't know about that one, but
I forget what that one was.
I don't know if it was a 7x7 or if it was something else, but there was.
Oh yeah.
The first one was pretty good. The other ones, I'm like, I don't know if they're great.
But I just remember too when we used to do those lists. All we do was like, here's a list of songs. Here's
that's what it was. Yeah. It was just boring.
Mundane. It was just we can do better than that.
There wasn't a lot of discussion. It was
now, what color albums are left that we got to do yet?
Quite a lot.
Okay.
The next one, I think we're doing green or purple.
Okay.
Can't remember which one because we done what was yellow last.
We did the primary colors first.
Yes. So we got purple, yellow, purple, green, and orange to do. Yeah. And then from there, I think we'll do 2 more episodes. One of grayscaled, and then one of just individual colors, kind of pieced together. Like we'll do sections in an episode where it's like, here's a brown section, here's a pink section, here's a whatever.
We should also do an episode just of our favorite album covers, because that could get into.
So what I want to do, is, well, this might. We'll do it twice. I think we'll do it soon, and then we'll do it years from now.
Okay.
Because what I want to do is I want to do a tournament bracket for album covers.
Oh.
Because I found a few websites and we can screen record on my computer, and I want to do a bracket where we each come, like if it's me, you, Race, and Matt, we'll each come with maybe 10 albums.
Yeah.
40 album bracket, and we'll vote on them between us 4 and try to get down to 1.
Oh, that is cool.
And then maybe we can have like a 5th person to do tiebreakers.
I'll just say this right now: you're gonna win.
Probably
because your Iron Maiden albums are cool.
A lot of the metal albums are.
The Iron Maiden albums are colorful and they're.
Yeah, I think we'll have to make some ground rules for that. So like the specific stuff so that we can make it a little bit more consistent.
Yeah,
but.
I don't see the Black Album winning. This is all black.
I mean, seeing as how it's on the Rolling Stones top 50 worst album covers, no.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And then, but if we do that with just the 4 of us, I want to, if we ever get big enough to do a live stream, I want to do that with people so they can vote.
Oh, that would be cool.
I've seen people do that on live stream. Like, that's such a cool way to do it.
Yeah, no, I think you're right on that. That's pretty sweet. Well, that's going to be exciting. So we got 2 more. I guess we have to come up with something good for the season finale, number 25.
Yeah.
So we'll have to put some thought.
So we'll have 1 episode in between now and the season finale.
Yeah, and then the season finale will have to get the gang together for that one again. See what Matt and Race are up to for that one. Race is of course touring still. This time he's in Obabajiba. Yeah, that's where he's at now with his band Racing the Roundabouts. They sold out. The stadium over there called so
what dialect is that?
It's tough. It's a tough language, but
sounds like an African dialect.
Yeah, he's over there having a blast. So shout out to Race and the Roundabouts. And so for this episode, I guess we'll come to an end. I think it was pretty good. It was good to see you again since we didn't do one for a while. And I guess you'll be my go-to guy for Spotify if I ever can't figure
Spotify help.
Yeah, I'll just go to you. Like, what am I doing wrong now? But no, so far so good. I'm pleased. Melissa's pleased with hers, and it's just going to be neat now. Knowing there's no commercials. That's a bonus. No commercials on Spotify.
Yeah.
Speaking of commercials, by the way, if you at home right now would like to check out Jammer's Wrestling Magazine Collection YouTube channel, please do so.
It's a great channel.
It's a great channel. That guy's awesome. He sounds a lot like me. But
he looks a lot like you.
He does, yeah, he's
got a similar room, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of similarities, but man.
I think he's trying to copy you.
I think so too. But man, handsome as hell too. So check that guy out. And that I guess for this episode, we're closing down this one now. Number 23 is in the books for this one. Check out 24. Probably, I don't know, the following week. Who knows?
Should be, yeah.
Should be, yes.
This one, fair warning, we've recorded this way in advance. This is like a few weeks ahead. So
yes. So
it'll be more consistent from this point onwards.
Of course. As for this one, though, I am your host, DJ Bill, for New Apartment Radio Podcast, with my producer, Jackson. We only have one thing to say to you all. Peace.